I wanted to follow up on the last video and continue the conversation around safe practice. And that video touched on this sense of resourcing with the skills to be able to navigate your personal development, personal vocal exploration in a safe way. And I gave some examples there, referring to this spectrum, if you like, of safe, unsafe practice, and relating that largely to practical skills, practical tools, centered around developing the voice. But I also wanted to mention this idea of the intangible, slightly more intangible space of what that safety means to us at a personal level. And this connects with the idea of then cultivating the awareness and the listening that helps to inform the decision-making process around identification of what tool is appropriate for me to use right now. So as much as there is an education piece around certain applications related to vocal development, that really the more complex they get, the more important it is to build an understanding of what is this exercise doing for me? How will it help? What is the process that's happening, so that you're actually giving yourself the opportunity to understand if you're acting out something, if you are exploring something in a physical way, what is going on. So there's the education piece around that, but then the education piece around learning about yourself and learning about what is my personal territory and my inner landscape. What are the things that make me feel good and supported and creative and open to possibility? Equally, what are the things that make me contract or make me feel unstable or make me shut down? And it's the process of gaining greater understanding of that landscape that helps to shape and inform your particular avenue of inquiry. So there's also this sense that we can look at an exercise in isolation and list the benefits of this exercise in terms of it's great for strengthening your voice, it will help with your breath support, because it's activating these areas, it's going to provide you with a sense of energizing and well-being and all of these kind of buzzwords. But what if we are in a process of discovery and inquiry where we're moving through a challenge or through a block, and this exercise happens to find the edges of where that difficulty lies, and that could be through the emotional space, it could be through the physiological space, it could be through the psychological space, the social space, the spiritual space. So that exercise that on paper looks good, sounds like it's going to do the job, might not be right for us. It might not be right for us in terms of our particular stage of development. It might not be right for us because of personal experience of having approached an exercise like this before and having had a negative experience or association with that. There are a range of possibilities that could be contributing towards a quality of engagement with that actually is not helpful for us in terms of our overall trajectory and our overall development. So this is where developing that flexibility with internal navigation and that sensitivity of awareness and listening and connecting with those parts of ourselves that are really asking to be heard. It's all very well to ask of ourselves to amplify, but if there's a part of ourselves that is not ready to be amplified or carries an energy with that is going to feel like it's very exposed through this process of amplification, how can we start to really invite this idea of the safety piece and moving along this this spectrum of not feeling supported here, not feeling connected, to, oh yeah, this feels like I'm being kind of drawn towards this, and this feels like it will be really helpful for me. And of course, trial and error. Sometimes you come to a certain exercise and you do hit up against an edge, or find a boundary, find a line, find a block, and that becomes then an opportunity for exploration, for taking stock, for further learning, for some integration, additional support. Equally, it could mean actually taking some space from that, reassessing the situation, trying another approach. So just wanted to expand on that and start to bring in some ideas that are starting to touch on that aspect of trauma-informed practice, and really being mindful about that personal definition of what is going to be most helpful for me right now to help support me in safe practice in my development.